Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream of Farming Valley, the cozy VR game I'm building with Wonderland Engine. Last week we basically got the project started, and during the live stream we switched to the latest nightly version of Wonderland Engine. I'm still on the nightly version. We struggled a bit with the HDRIs that are coming in the nightlies, in the next version, but they're in the nightlies already. But I've decided to not use the HDRI at this time. Maybe I will do later, but for now it's not really needed for this game, and I think it will make things harder, since I want to have a day-night cycle where the sun sets. So right now I switch back to a... So this is what you get when you're nightly. It crashes, and I tested the nightly at this moment. If it's not going to work, we need to figure something else to do. So nightlies happen to crash quite often, but we get the latest and greatest. So I just added a sky with 4 color stops, so it's a bit green in the ground and blue in the sky. So that's what I did in between streams. I also had a look at a shader. So these are 16 by 16 textures I'm using. And I want to start out with these textures. So what I want to do today actually is using these two. So I'm going to generate a world with the first one, and then when we click a tile, it should switch to the other one. So basically we can switch between them. Although I'm thinking of making it into 9 by 9 tiles. So maybe we can add like a border to it eventually, but we'll see about that later. But these are just 16 by 16. And it turns out it is quite challenging to get that to work as I want it to work. So right now, I think this is the function shader I selected. Yeah. Normally, when you have a nice, sharp, large texture, the function shading is perfect. But with this, it is a bit too small. Now, I already made it 4 times as big. It's a 64 by 64, so every pixel is actually 4 by 4 pixels right now. Now, I can export this 16 times as large. So just export the textures again. And now they are a bit sharper. Still not the sharpest, but a bit sharper. The problem lies in the distance. With large textures, Wonderland creates the mip maps, and that looks very nice in the distance. But since we have such small textures, I think the mip mapping is not really working to blur things out, so we get this pixely mess, and I haven't figured out how to solve it. So for now I'm just going to let it be. We'll figure it out later. maybe we just add a lot of fog to our world. Maybe we can add a green fog that. Maybe this is for now. This would be the best. Maybe for now we just leave it at this. And we should actually pick the right color. I forgot the short keys. I'm not using this. Oh, just Alt. Photoshop is I think. Let's check the color. I think this is it. Let's go into here. Now we have the exact green color. Although I kind of like the darker one as well. Anyway, that's not what we're going to do today. We're going to not focus on the shader too much. Because the green will look weird, now that I think of it, if it's the other ground. But I think I wrote things down. Yes. For this live stream, I want to add a few libraries. And I want to start working on the basic world generation. I think we haven't even done any TypeScript in the game yet. So that's also something. The default button is still here. Those kind of things. We will change that pretty soon. So I don't have any dependencies yet. So I think I wrote them down in a document somewhere. Oh, here. Of course, I need this one. Is there a... Yes, there's a weird cymbal sound in this song. I thought I heard something weird going on in my room, but it's in the music. Weird. Okay, I have my own set of components I always like to use. So I think we can just do an npm install. This should work. Yes, so now in here we have my own component library, which is open source. I hope it still works with the latest versions. I haven't checked actually. Also, I like to use RxJS. I think that is just RxJS. And I want to use probably Tween.js. Yes. So RxJS is a library that can do reactive programming in JavaScript. What I use it mostly for is keeping track of changes of objects. So the game will have a state object, and within that state object there are different things that can happen. And I think in this case, in this game, there will be a lot in there. But take for example a very simple thing, quote unquote simple thing, like are we on the main menu or are we in the game? Or are we game over? Those are basically the three main states of the game. Now if that state changes, I want other objects to be notified of that. They need to listen to that change. What I always do is add some similar thing for entering VR. If you enter VR, the state changes, and I can respond to that. But you can also add filters to it, so that you only respond when a certain thing happens. But we will, in this game, we will have something to end the day. And we need to trigger things. So I think this will be really helpful. And just keeping state. The amount of money you have, the amount of seats you have, I don't know. Everything state. That's ArcGIS. And tween.js is, well, just for adding little animations. Basically, if you want to go from one value to another, you want to do that over time, tween.js you can use for that. And the great thing is you can tie the update of tween.js to the update of a component. So in the update of the component, you update tween.js, so they stay nice in sync. Works like a charm. So let's just update this as well. It should not be my Wonderland project. It is my Wonderland project, but it's not called my Wonderland project. Right. So now we have these. This should still work. Nothing should happen. No, everything is fine. Cool. Oh, I almost forgot. I have Rosie running in the background. I had Rosie running last stream. Unfortunately, I thought I fixed the text-to-speech, and I just tested it, and something broke again. For some strange reason, the prompt is being denied by Microsoft, saying it is not compliant to the current what's it called? The current thing. It's not obeying to the rules, and therefore the requests are blocked. So anytime Rosie sends something to the server, it's blocked. In speech, maybe they just decided to block TTS or something, because it sounds too much like something else. I don't know. So I can't really show you what's happening. You know what? We just try. I will enable it for a second. I have to restart her afterwards, but we can try. Hey, Rosie.
Yes?
Can you say hi to the nice people in our YouTube live stream? Well, this is not going to work. Now, I changed this... Is he still listening? Can you say hi to the people in chat? Since there is a blocked one in there now. So I keep it at normal. The thing is, with normal, she will use the normal GPT responses and not a special one for spoken, which is shorter. These will be too long, but we can try the normal one. Hey, Rosie.
Yes?
Can you say hi to the people in chat?
Markdown. Hi everyone in chat. Waving hand, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to ask. Let's make this stream awesome together.
Thank you.
Markdown. You're welcome. If there's anything else you need, just let me know. I'm here to help. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
So that's Rosie, but no, she shouldn't be too long. And by default, everything she says Rest everything she responds will be in Markdown. That's why she calls Markdown at the start, because that's what I told her to respond with normally. Which is perfect for code or text or whatever, but not for speech. So in the speech version, speech prompts, she won't use Markdown. No emojis, just normal text. But for some reason, it is blocked all of a sudden. So I need to fix that. But we have it running in the background so she can help out. So let's get into a little component. Let's just start by creating a WorldGen component. Now you can create components in Wonderland in a couple of ways. I just create a file and just name it the name I want to have my component. I have a script. Or actually, it's not a script. It's a what's it called? Snippet. That does fancy stuff with naming. Right now, it's called WorldGen. Let me show you what it can do. It's open source. You can install it in Visual Studio Code. Say I would have named this WorldGen, because that's how you would name things. Now it doesn't work. It's the other way around. Say I would call this WorldGen with a dash. This is what you want to have your component be called in the engine. Normally you have the dashes, the kebab case, but I don't want my classes to be that. So basically there's some code in there that just changes it to uppercase and Pascal case, and this stays kebab case. Pretty nice. Now I just realized to do TypeScript we miss a couple of things. So let me just grab one of my files real quick from another project. Which one shall we use? This will be fine, I think. There's no HeyVR in here, but there will be probably. Would be cool to add some HeyVR stuff. But what I said here, this is a TypeScript configuration file, and the reason I want this is I want the experimental decorators turned on, and that enables the way we can add properties. Say for example I want an object. Now I have this, I can give it a name. Grass tile. And now if everything worked well, we can go here, add component, take the WorldGen, we have the grass tile, and we can add an object here, grass tile. Now it wasn't the best to add it right here, but we can probably just take this and move it to this component. And now we have a tile called grass in there. I am probably going to do it differently eventually. I haven't really given this much thought how I want to do the scripts. But right now we have a million grass tiles. Grass tiles, grass tiles, grass tiles. I copied it all over the place to add a few, but we don't need any of this. We need to have only one. And this one actually is going to be outside of view or being hidden or whatever once it's loaded. Let's make sure it's at the center. And I think it's just making sure it's the one we have referenced. So what I want to do is just take this grass tile and clone it a bunch of times. So we have like a patch of grass around us. Just to see if we can get it to work. So if I go back here. Copilot is giving us a suggestion. I think it's a really interesting suggestion. I don't know why and how it would come up with this. It is wrong. Completely wrong. Because there is a position. You can set the position. That's what we want to do. But it's an array we want to set it to. And I think... Now, because we're using TypeScript, we get all the benefits of... of IntelliSense and stuff. It knows the types. It's pretty helpful. If you're just getting started, I would really advise looking into TypeScript if you haven't done it. It's so much easier to work with. And if you heard me talk about this before, about just over a year ago, I did everything in JavaScript. I really had something like, well, why would I ever use TypeScript? I can just add some documentation to my code, which it's cool. My code is documented, and I can get the IntelliSense and all the stuff, but not the same level as you get with TypeScript. I started using it, and I was like, well, it's better. Especially if games get bigger. If you have a small game with a small component, just whatever. But if games get bigger, I had a lot of code I converted from JavaScript to TypeScript. And with doing that, I found a lot of small little bugs. Null reference things that could potentially go wrong. Would go wrong. So you have a bug. You don't know why. You don't know what's happening. And just because somehow a number gets signed to a string or something like that. And yes, there are a few things. There are a few things that would not work in TypeScript. Or that are very, very difficult to do. For example, I had some things where I wanted to assign multiple different types to objects and mix them together, and I ran into issues at some point. And there are ways around it. I wanted to get some sparkly water. I just kicked over the bottle right before the stream. So it's a good thing my camera isn't working. For some reason, I cannot use my Stream Deck to control the scenes and use my camera at the same time. And I haven't figured out why. Anyway, we don't have to add it to the scene. Because when we clone it, it is added to the scene automatically. I think. But we can give it a parent. And I like giving objects parents. Now, it's not... You do not really see it, that it has a parent. It doesn't matter. But say I need to clean something, or I just love to know that it's a parent. So in case of a world generator, I like to add objects to either an object I give it as a parent, or just as a child of itself. So we do this.object, and now we add it to this object. So it is 10 by 10. I don't really like that. I think -10. So now it's 10 in each direction. Y is 0, so it's on the ground. Now we don't see the downside of having it this way. We don't see anything here. But if we would run this, wow. It works in the first try. Interesting. So how far can we push this? Say you want a big world. Okay, this works. Let's add a few more. Okay. End must be greater. Okay, we went over the limit. Memory access out of bounds. So we cannot create an endless world this way. I didn't expect this to work. Although this runs fine. Let's check if it runs in VR. Let me quickly spin up this world. No problem. We should be able to teleport as well. Well, it is a bit... Okay. I'm not sure why the world turns dark here. Could be that we're out of shadow range or something. But we don't have to go this far. Actually, we can just add a plane that is green. The world will be way too big. This is just for testing. Let's keep it small for now. We don't need it that big. I think we need to start thinking about other optimizations when we go this big. So for now, let's keep it small. This is already for this point in the game, it is big enough. Now what I want to do is select one. But I think, say for example, we can just add a collider here. We do use physics, so we do a physics object here, and we do a box, and we can visualize these. So let's keep it at this shape for now. So Where did it go? There it is. So say we have this, so that now we can see the physics object on here. Now technically, we should be able to visualize them at runtime. So we see the ground here. Now if I refresh, see, this is not even going to... I don't know why there's a few missing there. Oh. This is the visualization. So now we have this much collider objects. I don't think this is the way to go. Especially since we will have more collider objects. For example, if we want to harvest something, we need to have a collider object on the plant. A physics object. If we want to interact with anything, we need to have objects there. So just spending 1 million of these objects. It's actually cool that it works. Now that I'm here, I want to try something. Actually, they are all simulated with gravity. Let's put them up in the air and see what happens. Damn. That's pretty cool. Okay, but it's a different kind of game. It is cool. I'm not going to do it like this. What I think I should do is add one to the ground. So not to the grass. So we're going to remove this. Delete. If we add one to the ground, we already have a ground plane. And then when we interact with the pointer, we just calculate which tile we hit. I think that would be the easiest way of doing this. And it would scale indefinitely. I'm Seb, welcome. How are you doing? Wait, why is there only one? Oh, wait. This is the original. They're still 20 meters up in the air for the test. Okay, there we go. Now the question is, do I want to have this... Do I want this? No. I need to stick to the plan. The game is not going to run on desktop. So I should not build anything that runs on desktop. Except for maybe some debugging, but... Yeah, I didn't really plan to go live. It's a bit rough with time management lately. But I really want to start working on a little game again. So yeah, I just might end up going live every now and then. Mondays is a good night, but I'm doing a game development course. A real big one. That was taking a year. And that ends in a month. And I have still 3 Well, not 3, 2.5 chapters, classes to follow. So, yeah. But after that, I am an officially certified game developer. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really funny how that happened. I started doing that game development course during my previous job, and so it's actually subsidized by the Dutch government. They had this program where you can take a course, get an education for free, to a certain amount of money, and it is to establish your work knowledge. So I've not been schooled as a game developer, but I was working in Unity. So I wanted to make sure that if something would happen during my time working there, I would have a backup as a game developer. So I can, if I need to change jobs, I would have a diploma actually as a game developer. I can say, well, look, I'm a game developer. I know what I'm doing. But yeah, a few months later, the company went bankrupt. And I'm still doing the course in Unity. I've learned a few things. It's just mainly doing it, but it's fun. But yeah, only a month left, and hopefully then I'm a officially certified game developer. Wait, what happens here? A lot of shader issues. Oh well. I'm not sure what happened there to the ground. Anyway, when we point this controller to the ground, I want to be able to select something. So the right controller, we need to add some ray to. Right controller. Did I leave something? We do have a cursor mesh still in here. And the cursor is also still in there. I did remove a lot of things that I didn't need it. Interesting, I thought the teleportation wasn't working on the right controller. Oh! I noticed something. I made a mistake. That's why it's not working. Here I changed the raycast mode to physics. I'm using physics instead of the collision thing. But here, I did not change it to physics. That's why I couldn't teleport with right. But I don't want to teleport with right. Do I want to teleport with right? I do want to teleport with right as well. I think. Oh, we can also use this cursor. Interesting. Well, anyway, the game I'm developing for the game development course, the last chapter is going into deploying a game to itch. So I actually need to deploy the game to itch and have people play the game. That's part of the curriculum, which is cool. I've done it before, multiple times. But I started to do a little devlog type thing on itch as well. Let's go here, enter VR. Yes, so now I can teleport with right as well. Nice. And we have the cursor. So with this ray, I want to I think I need to cast a ray, actual ray, every frame to see if we hit something. Where we hit the ground and then calculate which tile we hit. Yes, let's do that. Let's get close to finishing a game concept. Yes, getting distracted is happens all the time with games. What kind of game are you working on? Let's see if we can add a... Let's just drop components in here like it's nothing. What are we going to call this? Tile selector? Let me quickly check something. I think I've done something similar before. So why not reuse open? Actually, I think it's in the original farming valley. Let's just open the original code. There was a big to do, but I could teleport around in a special way. We have an action controller. Ah, I had a picker here. Yes. Oh, I think I did something. Oh, cosmic horror. I love cosmic horror. It's very hard to do in a game. VR though is perfect for well, let me know when it's done. I love to try it. I probably read about it in the Discord as well. So this is the code I did in the original one, and now I start to remember I had something I think was pretty nice. There was there's a picker, and then I did not enable or disable things, so I just moved things around. If something should not be visible, I just move it out of the way into the distance and back. So if we hit something, we had picking allowed. That was something else. Or it returns true. Always. Target picker. There was this way of overriding. I think that's what I did. Overriding things. And then you can... Well, that was the idea. When you picked something, it should... Oh, I made it way too complex. So move camera is actually disabled. we had a picker. Yeah, see, in this case, the action controller, it just overrides or adds a new method. So there's a function picked in the and picking allowed, and that's just these, and then and not inheriting it, the component or something. I just completely override the methods that are in there. TypeScript is not going to like that, I think. Or maybe it does. And then you just call that method with the same objects. But you check if picking is allowed is actually going to call this method or function. And there should be one here. And this is going to check if you can act on a certain tile. So I just separated the things. Now in this case I used a pixel map. There was a map with pixels. And if you change something, a pixel would change color. Based on certain values that... So, and it's an array, two-dimensional, or one-dimensional, but in two dimensions. And then you have 4 values you can assign to each value. So I think that map index. So there's an in this version I had 4 heights. I think I can just maybe even open it. Let me check. This is the old one. We get a lot of errors. And it was based on a map. Now I used code in 3D Studio Max to generate this level based on a pixel map. But here you have the different heights. So there's a height. If the map says 1, it is a different height. And you cannot just go and teleport up. You need to teleport to one of these ramps and then you go up. So if you teleport to the or onto it, you just go to the other side, I think, something like that. But I stored those values in the pixels of a map basically. So I have 4 channels to store stuff. So I can do 250 different entities, 235 different plants, different water. I don't know what not sure what I did there. Now, in this remake thing, it's going to be driven by... I think I'm just for now keep him calling cards. You get a deck of cards. Say you start out with 5 cards. And I think you start out with a specified set of 5 cards. So you'll have, just to get you going, you need to have a well, you need to have a watering can, a hoe, and some seeds. And when you're out of things, you get new cards, random. So maybe you can pick a card you want to add to your deck, or a certain amount of cards you want to add to your deck. And then every cycle you need to make money. And when you're out of money, you're done. And while the game progresses, you can buy more expensive stuff if you are things will cost money to proceed. And I think you have to pay taxes. Every several turns, say every 10 turns, you have to pay your taxes. And every 10 turns, they will go more expensive. That's basically what I want to have happening. So it's funny that you... Oh, I'm not in VR. If you're not in VR, you don't see it. So I might just add something similar to the... to the game here as I did with the actions. Or the pickers, this stuff, this idea. So we have a separated part that just picks something, and then we need to figure out what you picked. But we kinda can know if we just... If we put everything on a grid. That's my idea. So right now we did like this, but we can't just create a grid. That's your game area. That's it. Maybe we can even make it so we have different sections. So you can work on this piece of land, but if you run out of land, you make a lot of money, you want to expand your farm, you can buy the sector or thing next to your own land that will cost you a lot of money, but at that point we can initialize a whole new set of data, especially for that land. And just based on where you are, we say, well, that part is this land, and something like that. I think I saw something about that. I have not tried it yet. Finger painting is really, really nice in VR. I think it is. Such a nice idea. I need to try it. I've been thinking for a long time to do... just play WebXR games on my channel as well. There are such a lot of WebXR games that are really fun. Just make an entire video dedicated to one game. Let's start with a component. I think I want to add an object and place that on a tile where we hit it. Oh, there is already someone playing. I've seen some videos of VR gamers playing a couple of WebXR games, but not a channel dedicated to WebXR. I don't do anything else than WebXR. But yeah, if someone else is already making it, then I'm not sure if I can do better. I'm not the best at making video. Well, definitely not the best at making videos. I need to have an object. Objects. And this object is my... Is it cursor? Let's call it cursor. Object. Is this going to live on the hand? Yes, I think it's easiest to have this on the right hand. I'm glad that in this nightly version, the without the this nightly version doesn't crash when you add something. That's nice. It's actually nightly of a few days ago because I knew this was working. Straight gameplay without voice. Yeah, I want to do voice as well, and a video. The what's it called? Webcam. I've been watching a lot of this YouTuber. I think his name's Hollow. He plays a lot of horror games. I just watch it for inspiration for my own horror games. There are so many very nice horror games. Let's just clone this. Let's call this cursor. Cursor. And let's just modify the. Let's add a new material for the cursor. Let's clone the grass. No, the material we need to clone. We have grass. Duplicate. Let's call this cursor. Let's drop this in here. We should have already a cursor texture somewhere. Oh, yeah. Well, we have this one. These textures, by the way, are from the game I did for a game jam a while ago. But this was a Unity game. This is not the right one. I think I have one that is... Oh, let's not do fog. I wonder if we can see it on grass. Can we just change the color as well? Would that work? Can we make this... You know what? I think it's better just to create a new... to update the texture. It's nice we have this one for teleportation, I think. So if we teleport, I want to snap to a tile and then just use this one for the rotation. Or we will have water, but you cannot teleport to water. So on water we get a red cross. Let's make it blue. You know what? Let's make this one blue as well. So we're probably going to add this one as well. Okay. Save. Now it should update and be updated here as well. I think. Or did I export to the wrong folder again? No. These are blue. Isn't it reloading? Oh, damn it. This is the old version. Oh, it's not. No, this is the right one. Okay, now it's updated. So now we have a blue version as well. Nice. Let's hit... No, not play on the quest. Let's play local. Doesn't do anything. Why didn't it generate my world? Did I break that? Missing scripts. Are all my scripts broken? Yes. Now this could be a nightly thing. This is probably a nightly thing. So I was glad I could add components, but for some reason, all of a sudden, it stopped knowing what my scripts are. So it has a JS folder. Are my scripts in a JS folder? Or probably not. They're probably one level deeper. So what if we just add JS components as well? Sometimes that works. It did, but it lost the grass component, whatever. And we have this one, the cursor object. I'm not really happy about the naming I did here with grass and cursor right here, because it's not really a ground thing, but oh well. And there's one other thing. I actually want this to be slightly higher. Although it might be easier to do that just from code when I place it. I need to take the position here anyway. See, now we have them back again. Actually, there's JS. There's probably a JS version of it somewhere. Interesting. So what I want to do is cast array. Let's just cast array. There we go. This is not how you cast array. I was curious if Copilot by now knew how to use Wonderland, but it doesn't. I still haven't figured out a way to train Copilot. Rosie knows, by the way. Let me show you. Let me grab Rosie. So, here's Rosie. I have this skills thing, and I can do all kinds of crazy things. Also answering questions about a couple of things. So, if I say, how do you create a raycast in Wonderland Engine? Now this takes a while. It's not the fastest, but we should get a result back in a moment. And this is actually a there's a database on top of an LLM embedded that is giving pretty good results. There we go. Let's just copy this for a second. Go here, Control V. So we have this now. Can we save this to .md? So now it's a markdown file. Okay, creating a raycast, utilize a raycast, blah, 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 insert physics instance part of the, yes. Define the origin, oh, I'm not sure what it's talking about. Oh, it's probably with the, we have code. Yes, oh, it uses the very old code here. This is deprecated, should not use this at all. But engine physics raycast, I think, is the correct code. Yes. Oh. Well, this is actually not local. I've everything running on Azure. In this case, it's calling into an Azure AI search to do a vector-based search based on my question, and then it's getting a couple of results, and then it's using GPT-4 to create a response based on the results from the vector database. But I think this is how it should work. So this is what it came up with. So it's pretty damn close. But it just in this case I wasn't expecting it's alt. This is the code it should have been. And I don't want it. I want const. Now we have to have an origin, a direction. I should do a couple of live streams based on Rosie. She can do so much. This is up to date to a few weeks back now, the WebXR and everything actually. But I can update them as well. And also have this one now. So I have 5 different models to generate images. DALL-E is running on Azure. But these are coming from Hugging Face, so they're really slow. But the results are pretty nice, and just different styles. The pixel art one is also pretty funny. But I've been experimenting with all kinds of things. And Rosie, but at the moment, can do pretty crazy things. So say we have this error. What happens all the time is I get this. I get this error. Can you help? So what I can do, let me quickly save this to a file. So I can just say from file, I can select that image. So now the image is in here. And I can just say, can you tell me what's wrong? Now let's help her a little bit in my Wonderland project. I need to no. I'm not going. You don't need to define WL. WL is deprecated. Oh wait, you're talking about the error. Yes, in the error it is. This is I use this as an example. This is a project I wrote 3 years ago. It's still running in the current version of Wonderland Engine, except there are a couple of things with the code. That's why I'm rebuilding the next generation of this game and not using the old code, because everything is broken. Now there is if you have an older project and you want to get it up to date, there is a helper library on npm you can just run your code into, and it fixes these errors. But it's an old one. But I wanted to use this as an example to what Rosie is doing. Now I sent her this screenshot without much context. And she has analyzed the error and just giving some ideas of what's going wrong. And I've actually seen quite spectacular results with just this. It's such... Yeah. It's not that hard to copy this into text if you... It's not hard to copy this in text if you ask questions about it. I don't like getting screenshots of these errors. I just want to have... If someone asks me, say, can you help me with this error? Please send me the text so I can Google or search and not have do... I can do it like this now. But this is my own chatbot thing. It's pretty cool. This is the old game. We're not going to focus on this one. This is the new game. It doesn't use WL anymore. Because we don't need it. Basically. This is also the old code. Let's close it. Not getting... So I think it is... It's not even in here anymore. No. Don't use it. It will be gone in the next version. I'm not sure if it's gone in the next version, but it is deprecated, so it will. And if you need to have similar things, you can just do this in your component, do this.engine, and you have the same thing. But now it is in your engine in a nice way, and not on a global scope. I think there is one place where it's still... Yeah. It's in here for backwards compatibility. Also, this one is... There's also stuff here, by the way, that's... old. But yeah, it's for backwards compatibility. It is in here. Don't use it. So I want to raycast. So O is the origin. So origin will be the current position of the controller. So let's do this dot object get position world. Now we need to pass this an array. And we can do this. This will create a new array. It's better to create a temporary vector. Const. Let's do temp origin. No, it's vect. I'm doing Unity too much. Vect3.create. So now this is created once. Yeah, well, you don't. In this case, you don't. I don't see it as really remaking old code. It is more like I'm building a game inspired on an old one. And there is, if you are in the situation where you have some old Wonderland code you want to have updated, there are scripts to do it. There are tutorials on how to do it, and if you need help, just join the WebXR Discord or the Wonderland Discord, and just hit me there, and I will gladly help you update with Wonderland code. Not every random project. I've been there as well, doing updating VB code to projects. I can do better things with my time. So we can do this. Now this means that we reuse the same piece of memory every time. We don't create or assign a new piece of memory every update. this is just a bit faster and stable, and if we don't in this stage of the game, we probably won't notice. But maybe in the future we will, and I don't want to refactor and optimize everything then, because I know this might be an issue. So we can do this, and now we have that one. Then we need the direction. I think we can just use the rotation of this. So I'm going to do another one. But it's a quad and not a... Now though, this using arrays, I can just use the quads as well. And since I might be doing more with this eventually, I don't know. In my projects, I rather use the quads and the vects, so I can just go in and if I need to have something, I can just do vec3.copy and drop that vec3 in there. And don't have to worry about casting things to arrays and all that kind of stuff. So we get the rotation world. Then the collision group and the max distance. I think I want to have at least a property for the max distance. Is that a float? Let's do WL float. Max distance. And let's set the default to 5 meters. Again, if you want to have these components, the snippets, just search for Sorskoot in the extensions. It's a Visual Studio Code extension with some code snippets, JavaScript and TypeScript. It's basically what I'm using, but I decided to share it, so it will be helpful for everyone. So now we have the max distance for the raycast, then the collision group. I think we might want to have that as a property as well. Why can't I create a property for that? Alright, WL, let's do an int, I think it is. Collision group, and let's do 2 as a default. So now when we have a look here at the cursor, it didn't refresh automatically, but if we package the project again, we get the update. So now we have the cursor object, which is this one right here. And we have max distance in the collision group. I think I chose 2 with a reason. I think 2 is a default for the teleport as well. Right. So now we have this ray hit. So say we check if we hit something. So if we have a ray hit, we hit something. This is not valid code. Ray hit is actually an array. I think it's an array. It has a couple of arrays. Objects. Object is the objects we hit. The problem is, we hit the same object every time. So I'm more interested in the location actually, because we will hit the ground. If you point at the ground and we hit something, we hit the ground. There's no way around it. It said we should use get locations. Destination array of array vectors expect at least hit count elements. Each array expect to have at least 3 elements. Array of array hit locations. A nice example. Get locations. Okay. So now we have location 0, 0. This must be the location. If we hit something, we need to have. The other ones, I don't care. But I don't understand something. What type is this? Oh, wait. This is the first one we hit. And it has 3 positions in there. So if we would set the cursor object to here, we technically should have a blue thing on the ground, but... Oh, that's not what I want. I want to move this up a little bit. It's funny that it knows what I want. So now it's 10 centimeters above the ground when we hit something. Now this should work in the local browser, so we just test it right here. So these pink circles are the collider that's on the ground. The physics object that is on the ground. And it's infinite. So as soon as we hit the ground, we should have that raycast hitting it. Now we do have an error that's happening quite a few times. So let's just pause this because otherwise I'm getting annoyed. Undefined setting 1. Okay, so we did something wrong here. What's in locations then? Oh, that's interesting. We have a ray hit, but we didn't hit something. Everything is empty. Oh, we need to check the hit count. We always get this, but we need to check the hit count. That's the trick. Ray.hit count. Ray hit is possible undefined. Then we do it like this. Hit count is a number. I don't think we need this. No. Okay, I'm curious. I asked Rosie before. I still have it open here. It actually... it actually did it. Here, locations. Rosie gave us some accurate information. Oh, wait. Wrong button. So now when we hit something, we should hit the locations. Seems to work. Let's refresh. Let's remove the breakpoint. Now we should be able to, as soon as we hit something. Right, it's not working. Though we should hit this. So I'm pointing at the ground, but we don't hit anything. So that's odd. Now it could be that my rotation is wrong or off or... There is a rotation. I'm going to check it in VR because I can move the handle a bit, the controller a bit better if we are in VR. So I will take you to VR for a second. The browser is gone again. Doesn't really matter. Let's close the old tabs. I'm not sure if these would influence anything. There we go. So I should be able to see something here, but there we go. It's backwards. And it's casting a shadow. But this is the size of a tile. I don't get it. The rotation is completely off. You can't see my hands with the controller, but I made a mistake somewhere with the rotation. Let's cheat. I mean, there's some code here, right? That's doing the cursor. And the cursor is casting a ray. Raycast mode. This raycast. Now this is a bit more complex because it's raycasting for physics and for so it's get transform vector world. That's what it's using for the ray, so we can do the same, I think. The only question is, I was doing more. It's not just it's not just direction. Update direction. Oh, damn it. Yes. The tricky thing is, the cursor is using mouse as well. That's the update mouse thing. This might not be the best and easiest thing to reuse. Is it being called from somewhere else? It should be. Update. This is what it's using for WebXR. Apply transform to direction. So we can take this Oh, we had that already. And then we can just say... Damn, it's all we've got. Here. We'll just take this one. We don't create any new objects. And we take this vector and we apply this here. So now it should be the same as the cursor. So that ray, I assume the ray is using the same thing. Let's test in VR, that's more fun. So now it is at the right position. Now it's casting a shadow. So it's probably in the material of the so there's cast shadows here in the transparent. I think for now we can just turn them off. Right. Though it should not really cast shadows. Oh well. For now, I'm just going to turn them off. Let's see if we can test here now. Better. Now I want to snap them to tiles. Snap to grid. Tell me. It's not the grid exactly. But this is kind of the code I need. I probably want to shift it over half. Because now I probably... It's not even doing anything. It is on the grid, but as you can see, it is half a tile behind. And that's because we're using the center of the tile. Although I think I made the tiles one by one. Yes. So by default the plane is 2 by 2 meters. So I scaled them half. So now they're 1 by 1 meters. So is it still not correct? Could be that it's just not refreshed. Having some packaging issues with the latest nightly. Now it is. So now it is. It should be where I point my cursor. It should be on that tile. Let's check it in VR to make sure it's there as well. See, now the browser is gone again. You see my screen? Yes. Let's enter VR. It's still a bit off although it looks off, but that's because the cursor is floating 10 centimeters above the ground. Let me quickly move it to 1 centimeter above the ground. Let's make sure I repackage. See, now the browser closed again. I don't know what's happening there. That's better. Now it's 1 centimeter on the ground. Now I do want to have this as well on the same tile. So I need to have my own teleport thing. You can see it's a centimeter above. It's nice. This one is also a centimeter above, actually. Now, as soon as we have a data set for the ground, we can start changing these tiles, because we know this tile is there, this tile is there. But let me quickly check the time. Yeah, I was about to stream for an hour and it's 45 minutes, over an hour already. So I think I'm going to have the stream until here. If you like what we're doing on the stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, because I'm still kind of busy. I have not really planned a schedule yet, but it's probably Mondays for now, and I plan on going to do Mondays and Thursdays again pretty soon. Could take a few weeks till my course, the course I'm taking, is done. Anyway, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.